Dear students in grade 9, good afternoon and welcome to the English seminar for today. In this session, we are going to discuss a number of skills, a number of points, a number of topics related to Unit 7. Of course, everything we are going to do will be very, very important for you. We have reading texts in both books, in the students and in the activity. We have grammar and we have some vocabs or vocabulary to discuss also. But before that, let me introduce and welcome my colleagues in the studio, Ms. Nagam Muhammad, an English teacher from Tartus.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And Ms. Nada Bashur, an English teacher from Hama.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You know, my dear colleagues, we are going to discuss unit number 7 today.
Yeah.
And unit number 7 is rich of activities, rich of, important points for students. But before we do anything, it is very important to start with the backbone of the language, which is grammar. Actually, we have many rules or a number of rules that we are going to discuss today. We'll start maybe with conditional sentences. We are going to work on, what we call linking words, time words, and also we are going to talk about the future tense, how we make a future, Also, I'd like to pay our students' attention to the fact that we are going to receive your calls on the numbers shown at the bottom of the screen. So please don't hesitate to call us if you have any inquiries or any questions. Now, let me start with Ms. Nagam. Ms. Nagam, we know what we call conditional sentences, or we have this in English. As well as in Arabic also, we have conditional sentences in Arabic.
That's correct, yes.
Yes. So can you please give us a short idea or a simple idea about the meaning of conditional sentences and how many types of conditional sentences we have in English?
Well, okay.
Yes, please.
Conditional sentences in English, as you said, are very similar to those in Arabic.
Yes.
Actually, we have two events related to each other's, and the relationship between them is that one event can or can't happen if something else happens or doesn't happen.
Exactly.
All right? We have, of course, many types. But before that, I think it's here useful to talk about sentences themselves in general. What do we mean by the word sentence? When we say sentence, we mean a group of words. Mainly we should need to have in English, of course. We need to have a subject and a verb, and to give a full meaning.
Yes,
right?
that give a full meaning. Okay. Exactly.
And
yes.
These groups of words, if they give a full meaning, they are a sentence.
Yes.
Sentences can be simple, which means we have only one subject and only one verb in the sentence,
Very nice.
but we may have other words to
complete
the meaning.
Yes,
complete
exactly.
the meaning. Like when I say I eat, this is the subject and this is the verb.
Exactly.
But here we also need an object. I eat an apple every day. So we have a group of words.
And
but we have only
elements of the sentence.
Yes, we have only one subject and only one verb.
Very
but
nice.
Some sentences have two parts, and maybe more, but let's talk only about those who have two parts.
Exactly.
And in each part of them, we have a subject and a verb. And these two parts should be connected together with a word.
Yes.
Now, this word is called a linking word. Now, when we talk about conditional sentences, this word is the word if.
Exactly.
Right? This word is the word if. Of course, there are many other words. We'll talk about them later. But now we are going to talk only about the word if.
Yes.
All right? Concerning the sentences with the word if, we have many types, actually. But before we talk about these types of conditional sentences, all right, let's talk about what's the structure of the conditional sentence. First, a sentence, it is a sentence.
The laptop, please. Yes, go on.
Okay, it is a sentence with if. All right. So, and it has two clauses. And what we mean by a clause, we mean a part which has a subject and a verb. So we have two parts,
Yes.
which are called the clauses. And in every part, we have a subject and a verb linked together. They are linked together with this word if. Right? For example.
Very nice. Yes.
For example, if I hear any news, I'll phone you.
Good.
Okay?
Yes.
So
here,
phoning you.
sorry for interruption. So here we can say that we have two clauses in a conditional sentence.
Of course we have
two clauses. One of them is called the if clause, and the second is called the main clause or the result clause. Very nice. Yes, go on.
Yes, okay. So in the if clause, if you say, if I hear any news, here the meaning is not full yet.
Yes.
It has no meaning.
Exactly.
You are still waiting for the result. What will happen if I hear any news? So it becomes, if I hear any news, the result, I'll phone you.
I'll phone you.
All right?
Very nice.
Or we can also say, I'll phone you if I hear any news. So here
is the question. What happens now if we change the positions of the if clause and the main clause?
The meaning is the same.
The meaning is the same, no change.
Yeah. But we should pay attention that if we start with the if clause, we should finish the if clause with a comma. We should put a comma between the if clause and the main clause. All right?
And what if we start with the main clause? Do we need this comma?
We don't need the comma.
We don't need
it. I'll phone you. This is the main clause. I'll phone you if I hear any news, and here we don't have any comma between the two parts.
Very nice.
All right?
Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
If I hear any news, I is the first subject, and here is the first verb. This is a clause. In the second part, we have I'll phone you. Here we have I is the subject, and will phone you. Will phone is the verb, and you can notice here that it is not a simple verb. We have an auxiliary verb, which is will, and we have the main verb, which is phone, and it is in the base form or in the infinitive form of the verb.
Yes. Now we can say, Ms. Nagam, that in both, because we have two clauses here. So in both the clause, and we call it a clause because it contains a subject and a verb. So we have two clauses, means that we have two subjects and two verbs. Maybe the subject is the same in the first and the second. Here we say, if I hear, I will. So they're the same. But we should mention the subject in both the clauses. Otherwise, we don't have a clause, because we have a clause when we have a subject and a verb. If we don't have a subject, then there is no clause. This is now
a phrase.
Yeah, it is a phrase. Very good. Yes, very nice.
There are many kinds of conditional sentences, and before we start telling about the types of conditional sentence, it's very important here to remind you of a rule in English which says that if we start a sentence in the present, you can't use the past in the second part. Okay, if it has two parts, you use the present in the first part, you need to use also present, not past, in the second. All right? And as we said, in the if clause, which I have just mentioned, we have will in the second part.
Yes.
Right? So there are three common verb patterns or patterns or types of conditional sentences.
But today we are going to focus on two only.
Okay, we'll focus only on two, which are in grade 9.
Yes.
We'll leave the third type
later on to
other classes. All right. Now, type 1 contains if plus, of course, a subject and a present simple. So in the if clause, we have a present simple. Now, what do we have on the second part? We have will plus verb 0 or the base form.
Yes.
All right? And each type has many references. Always remember that everything we say in any language is a message from the speaker to the listener. So what's the message in the first part? For example, when we use the present simple with if, and on the second part we use will. We all know that will has the message or the meaning of the future. So we'll talk about that later. Type 1, if plus present simple, and in the second part you have will plus the base form. In type 2, we have if, but plus past simple. Now we use past, you can't use will. Will is present, present future. You can't use will. So on the second part, you should use would instead of will.
Yes.
And the plus, of course, always the base form after would.
Exactly.
Right?
Thank you for this explanation, but we need now to go to a short break. Dear students, a short break, then we will be back again. Stay with us. Dear students, welcome back. Ms. Nagam was talking about conditional sentences, about types of conditional sentences. She was saying that there are two types in our book, of course, two types of conditional sentences. First type, which also, or we say that both types contain two clauses. Each one of them contains two clauses. We have the if clause and we have the main clause or the result clause. Ms. Nagam, you were talking about, the components, okay, or the content of the conditional sentence. You were talking about if clause. After if and after the subject, we have a verb in simple present. Then in the main clause, we have will plus the base form or the infinitive. Why do we have the infinitive here? Why? Because it is preceded by will. And will is called a modal verb. Yes. And modals are always followed by what? By infinitives. Very nice. Thank you very much, Ms. Nagam. I think Ms. Nada is going to continue what Ms. Nagam was talking about.
Actually, Ms. Nagam was talking about that we have three kinds of if. I'm going to talk about the first type of if. The first type we have here is if plus simple present plus. Also, we have in the main clause, we have a subject, we have a verb, and we have also the rest of the sentence. When we use the first one, we are use it to talk about possible things we are going to happen. Yes. Like, for example, if I am sick, I will not go to school. Or if I am hungry, I will eat a sandwich. Of course, we have here, if plus simple present, which is simple present is a subject plus verb plus rest of the sentence. And we have also in the main clause we have also a subject plus will or will not plus verb
So
one.
we can use positive or
negative.
of course.
Yes, exactly.
Very nice. Very
So we have, like for example, we have an example. If you don't hurry, the others will go without us.
Yes.
So here we have a possible situation of what is going to happen or what will happen. We are here talking about
yes,
the
please.
future.
In the future.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
In the future.
The laptop.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we are here using the present simple, which we use the present simple for general facts, and we use it as for things we do regularly.
Yes.
So we are using it for the possible situations or possible things that are going to happen.
So it is possible.
Yeah.
So when we use type 1 of conditional sentences, the result is possible.
Possible to happen.
Yes, possible. For example, I say, if you study well, you will pass.
Yes.
Study well, and you will pass.
This is
So,
likely to happen.
likely to happen.
will mostly happen.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So it
yeah.
is possible. The result is possible to happen or to take place. Very nice.
Exactly. So we have here the if part, and we have another example. I will, for example, if it rains, I will get wet. So it is something possible, and we use it for predicting the future.
Right.
It's easy and
Okay,
nice to
good.
use.
So this is another example about, about first type of conditional sentences.
Sure.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Ms. Nada. Ms. Nagam, let's continue also with the,
The other type which
Yes.
is in your book, we always remind you that there are many types, but in your book you have only two types. The type 1, which my colleague has just
Yes.
mentioned, and the other type, type 2, which is if plus past tense on the in the if clause, and on in the main clause you have would plus verb 0. We all here notice that the tenses are past, but do they really refer to the past? I started, when I started talking, I told you about messages which the speaker produces to the listener. So the first type, which uses will, we all know that will talks about the future. So the message is about a possible or a likely event that will happen in the future, of course, if something else happens. Now, what about the second? We have if plus past simple.
Yes.
But does it really refer to the past? Now, here, actually, it doesn't refer to the past. We'll talk about that. But let's first give you examples. If I had £1 million,
Yes.
I would probably buy a house. So, if I had £1 million, do I really have £1 million? This is the point here. So, am I talking about the past? Actually, I'm not talking about the past.
No.
Here, I'm just imagining
Yes.
something that is not real.
Exactly.
In fact, I don't have that much amount of money.
Yes.
And I'm just trying to imagine. And in English, actually, this is a general rule. When we talk about imaginary situations about the present or the future, actually, we don't use present. We use the past forms, the simple past forms.
Yes.
And if I had £1 million, I would, probably or without probably, I
Yes.
would buy a house. Now, how much possible is this to
Yes.
happen?
Now, before that, Ms. Nagam,
Yes.
how can we explain the difference between both types
Yes.
of conditional sentences?
Yes.
Here, in the first type, or in type 1, we have a
Present
subject,
simple.
we have a verb in present simple.
Present simple
In
and
the
will.
second type, we have a subject, but we have
Will.
a verb in the simple
Simple
past.
past.
In simple past. Then now we come to the main clause. In type 1, we have the subject followed by
Will.
While in the second part, we have the subject followed by would.
Would.
So we have simple past in the second type in the if clause, and we have would in the second part, which is the main clause. In the first type, we have the verb in the present simple, and we have the main clause, or in the main clause, we have the verb in simple future. We have will plus infinitive.
Present, future.
Exactly.
Okay, that's what
Yes.
we said first.
Yeah.
If you start
Yeah.
using
We
the
have,
past,
since
you
we
should
have will,
continue
it is,
using
yes, it is
the
called
past.
simple future.
Future,
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
if I had £1,000,000, if I had here is past simple,
Yes.
and the subject is I. On the in the second part, I would, which is the past future.
Good.
With the main verb, which is by, in the base form.
In the base form,
Another
because,
example,
because, as I said, because modals are always
Followed by infinitive.
a base
the
form.
infinitive.
Yes.
Very nice.
Another example, it would be awful if you lost your passport.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm imagining that you may lose your passport, and what will happen in the future if this happens. But this is imaginary, so you don't use present. We use the past. It would be awful if you lost your passport. And you can notice here that the if clause is removed to the second position in the sentence. We don't start here in this example with the if clause. We started with the result clause. As we said, we can also use it if you lost your passport, you would, it would be awful. There is no difference in meaning, but only the position is different. Okay?
Yes.
Here, as we said, the past tense in the if clause here refers to something unreal.
Unreal, yes.
All right? We are just imagining the situation. Now, how likely is it to happen? Actually, it is unlikely. And here is the difference between the second type and the first type, which we said present simple plus will. This is likely to happen. This is possible to happen. But in the second type, in which we use past simple plus would, the situation is unlikely to happen.
Yes.
It is not that much possible to happen.
It is imaginary.
So you imagine, you are imagining
Yes,
the
yes,
situation,
exactly.
and to tell the speaker that you are, the listener, that you are just imagining the situation, you use the past simple in the first clause, in the if clause, and you use would in the second clause.
Very nice. Thank
Okay.
you, Ms. Nagam. Now we will have some examples, okay, about
Exercises.
using, the conditional sentences. Ms. Nada, please, we have some examples here.
Yes, we have some examples about
The
how
laptop, please.
do we have to use, or how do we use
Yes.
the first type or the second type of the if.
Yes.
For example, we have the first one, I'll phone you if I arrive or arrived early.
Yes.
Since we have in the first, or in the if clause, we have the first part of the sentence, we have will, we have here the main clause, so we have to use, after the if clause, we have to use the verb with, or infinitive, the verb infinitive, so we have to choose here arrive.
Yes.
The second
Present
one,
simple.
yeah, since it
here-
is
here,
present simple
Miss-
and
yes,
we are
good.
using will for predicting the
Miss
future.
Nada here, this sentence or conditional sentence, we start with the main clause.
Yeah.
So here we have will.
Yeah.
And since we have will,
We need to
said,
use the present
then
simple.
the verb, the main verb of the if clause should be in present simple. Yes.
Yes.
So I'll phone you if I
Arrive.
arrive.
Yeah,
Good.
exactly.
Because we need here a verb in the present simple.
Simple.
Very nice.
The second one, if you told me a secret, I won't tell, or I wouldn't tell anyone.
Yes.
Here we have the if clause first, and we use it here the simple past. Since we use it the simple past, so we are imagining what would happen if you told me something.
Very nice.
But in reality, you didn't tell me a secret, so I will not
Yes.
tell anyone, or I
Yes.
can't tell anyone.
Yes.
So here we are using the second type of if, which is if plus simple past, and we have to choose would, wouldn't, or not will not. We have to use it here as wouldn't.
Very nice.
Because will, we can use it as a short form as won't. So we
Yes.
have to notice here that we have to use
Very
wouldn't.
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So won't here, won't means will not.
Will not,
But
yes.
we have a short form,
Which
okay,
is
which
won't.
is won't.
Yeah.
So if you told me a secret,
I didn't tell anyone.
Didn't tell anyone. Very nice. Yes.
The third one is if I am or were you, I would apologize to the teacher for being impolite. Here we are using a different situation. Here I am imagining what I would do if I was in your place. So
Yes.
also we have here, I am trying to tell you what you had to do or what I would do if I were in your situation.
Very
So
nice.
I have to use it here if I were you, also for imagining what would happen.
Now imagine, Miss Nada, that
Yes.
our students now are having an exam and they have this sentence: if I am or if I were you.
Yes.
How do you tell them to choose the correct answer?
Actually, here we have to look at the second part of the sentence.
Very good. The second part,
Yes.
which is
I would apologize.
I
So I
would
have to look
apologize.
for the auxiliary verb, which
Very
is
nice.
would.
exactly.
Yes.
So here we have would. It means that the verb in the if clause
Yes.
is in past simple.
Yes, so
Very
we have to
nice.
choose
Very
if
nice.
I were you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very-
The last one, if I were rich, I would buy or I will buy my parents a new car. Actually, I am not rich, so I don't have enough money to buy a new car. And we have the if clause here in the
Yes.
first part, and we are using the simple past. So we have to use in the second part or in the main clause of the sentence, we have to use would plus
Yes.
verb infinitive. So I have here to choose I would buy my parents a new car.
Very nice. And also here, I'd like to pay our students attention to the fact that in the past, when we were students, when I was a student, okay, at school, we used only were with if I. Say, if I were. This was the only solution or the only thing that we must use in conditional sentences. But now, it is very important to tell our students that they can use was.
Yes.
If I was rich or if I were rich. But
Both are correct
where
here.
is more common than, was. Yes. But it is not incorrect. It is correct. Okay? If they say, if I was, it is correct. It
Yes.
is not incorrect.
Incorrect.
Yes. Now, after that, we come, Ms. Nagam, to something else. Here we have some linking words. When we speak English, when we write anything in English, composition or anything, when we read, we find a lot of linking words.
Yes.
These linking words are very important because without them, we have individual sentences. We don't have, an article or a passage or, a paragraph or,
Becomes
an
more
essay.
active, more
Yeah,
lively,
of course,
more
of
lively.
course.
They give
Without these
values.
words, you say, I live in Damascus, I like football, so and so. So these are individual sentences, separate sentences. They don't form an essay or a paragraph. Why? Because we don't have linking words. So linking words function as what? As linking sentences together or ideas together.
Yes.
When we have different ideas and we want to join these ideas together, we use these
Linking words.
linking
Linking
words.
words,
Would you please tell us something about these linking
Okay,
words?
of course, linking words are many types.
Yes.
We have cause and effect linking words, we have place linking words, we have relative pronouns as linking words, and we also have time linking words.
Yes.
We have just said that if itself is a linking word, and it works as a conditional linking word.
Yes.
All right, it links two events together as conditions. So nothing can happen if something else doesn't happen or whatever. Now, this if sometimes can take a time reference. It could take the meaning of when, for example.
Yes.
All right, it could take. So when I see him, I'll tell him what you have just said. So when here is also just like if. If I see him, I will tell him
Very
what
nice.
you have just said. So we can say that Also, conditional sentences can be found not only with
But
if with
which
other
one,
words, but
which is stronger here?
Okay, now-
When or if?
of course, if is stronger as a conditional sentence. But
As
when we
conditional,
refer,
but yes,
but
as
when
in
we
meaning
refer
here.
to time
Yes.
references, of course,
When.
these words, we will know now some of them, we'll learn some of them. These words also have meanings and different meanings.
Yes.
Right?
So when I
For
say,
example,
when I see him, here I'm sure that I'll see him.
Yes.
But if I see him, it is probably to see him. It's
Yes.
not sure.
Yes.
So when is stronger in terms
if
of what?
if it is
In
what you mean.
affirming the,
The possibility.
The possibility.
Yes.
Excellent.
So time words or linking time words, like for example when, like while, like until,
Yes.
like as soon as, and many others. For example, my leg, I'll give them some examples
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Example, my leg hurts when I walk. Right? So
Yes.
here we have a present simple. Of course, we have also two clauses with these linking words. In the first clause, we have my leg hurts. Okay, my leg is the subject
Okay.
and hurts is the verb, and it is in the present simple.
Yes.
When I walk. In the second part, we have I is the subject and walk is a verb, and it is also present simple. So here maybe it means every time I walk, my leg
Yes.
hurts.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Another example, of course, in the first part we have present simple, so remember always to use also present in the second
Yes.
part. You can't
We
use
can't use
past,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You can't
Yes.
use,
Yes.
this is what we call sequence of tenses. This is a very important rule as we said previously. I heard the news on the radio. Heard is the verb and it is past simple. This is the first part. I heard the news on the radio as I was driving home or while I was driving home. Here we have also two sentences, two clauses actually linked together by the word as or the word while, which have now here the same meaning. You can say as to mean while, and you can use while to mean as. They have the same meaning
Yes.
here. The first part has the subject I
Yes.
and the verb heard, and heard is the past.
What do we mean here
simple.
by while?
Okay, here while means at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, at the same time
during the
I was
time.
driving,
During
or during the
happening
time
During
I
the
was
time.
driving.
Excellent.
So here we have past simple on the first
Yes.
part, in the first part, sorry, and we have past continuous actually
Yes.
in the second. Here we have while. Remember to use past continuous after while, because as teacher Karim has just said, it means a during. So we have a continuity of the action. Driving was going on
Yes.
when something else happened.
Yes. So
which
here we
is,
have
I heard the
interruption here.
news.
We have
Of the two
We have
actions.
something
interruption.
interrupted something else.
Okay, we have an
Very-
event which interrupted
Very-
another event that was going on. So my driving home was going on. I was driving home, and I heard the news. This is past
Very nice.
simple.
Very nice.
Okay, so during the time when I was driving home, something
Yes.
else happened,
Yes.
which is I heard
Let's have another
the news.
example, Ms. Nagam.
All right, when or after the speaker sat down, no one knew what to say. Here we have when or after.
Yes.
Actually, when itself can take also many meanings depending on the event itself.
Yes.
After and when here have the same meaning. When the speaker sat down, no one knew what to say. So everyone was silent
Yes.
when the speaker stopped talking and sat down. Okay? When
Yes.
is the linking word here, and we use it in the first part of the sentence. We have the speaker is the subject and sat down is the past simple, the verb in the past simple. In the second part we have no one, which is the subject, knew is the verb, and it is also in
So
the
here we
past
say when the
simple.
speaker sat down, no one knew what to say.
Both are past simple here
Yes.
in both parts.
Yes.
So
The speaker
that's why
sat
when
down
here,
and knew. So we have two verbs here.
that's why when here can take the meaning of after.
Yes.
When he sat down,
Yes.
no
Or
one-
after he sat down.
Yes.
it has
no
the
one
same meaning because
knew.
both are in the past
Yes. Yes.
simple.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
What about now also other words, other linking words
Yes.
related to time.
Yeah.
Yes, please, Miss Nada.
Yes, as Ms. Nagam said, we have many linking words. We talked about when, we talked about while or as. Also, we talked about after and when. Now,
Yes.
I'm gonna talk about many words. Oh, other words
Other
we have
words,
here.
yes.
Yeah, we have as soon as. When we are using as soon as, we are using it to talk about what happened immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah, what happened
something.
immediately.
After something.
Yeah, so we have an example. As soon as I had left the house, it just started to rain. So the first action is that I had left the house, then it started to rain.
Yes.
So when it rained, it
Now,
immediately.
in the period of time between leaving and starting
A very
rain,
short
Yeah,
period of
very
is it
time.
short
long
time.
or short?
That's why we are
Okay.
using
Yes.
past perfect, and in the second sentence we are using simple past.
Yes.
So,
exactly.
as soon as it tells us that the action happened immediately after what
Yes.
the first
Yes.
one. Yeah.
Yes.
I must go to the post office before it closes.
Yes.
So, another word we have here, it's before. So, we have to use, we have to notice that I am using must. Must here we are, I have to remember you, our students, that we are using here must as an auxiliary verb, and it is something that I had to do. That I
Yes.
don't have any choice, so
Yes.
I have
Yes,
to do
there is no
this.
choice here.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
and I have to use it. I use it simple, present simple, sorry, before or in the first main clause, and
Yes.
I use it also present simple
Yes.
after.
So here I
before.
must get to the post office before it closes.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we have two actions.
Yeah.
Going to the post office and it
And
closes.
closing.
Yeah.
So here, what is the linking word between these two clauses? We have the word before.
Before. Yes.
I must go before it closes.
Yeah.
If I go after it closes,
I will find
can't
it
do
to
anything.
close. Yeah.
So I must go before
Before it
it
closes.
closes. Yes, very nice.
Also, we have until.
Yeah.
You have to wait until the light changes to green. So we are here using until in order to say that I have to do something to a point in time. So until
Yes.
something else happen now at this time.
So until means up to the time.
When something
When
else-
something
when something-
else happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yes.
The last one is I have been sad since you left. So we are using since here, and also we know that we are using since with perfect, present or past. So we
Exactly.
are using here it as linking words to link these two sentences. It means from time to time, or
Yes.
from the time you left. I
So
feel
here,
sad.
since is used before specific point of time.
Yeah.
In the past, okay, we don't have duration or
Yes.
a period of time after since, but we have a specific
definite
point,
point in the
definite
past.
time. So here we say you left at a specific
Specific
point
time.
of time in the past. So we say I've been sad since you left.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you. Now here we have also an exercise using, this this topic, which is linking words. Yes, please. Let's now do some examples, also more examples, extra examples about that.
Yes.
Yes.
The first example is I'll phone you until or as soon as I arrive. So we have to know the meaning of these two linking words, and we have to know the meaning of the sentence to know how to choose.
Yes.
So I'll phone you, it means that something will happen, it will end. After it ends, I will phone you as soon as. So here we have to use as soon as.
Can't we use
immediately.
until?
No, I don't think so.
So no, it isn't
No.
possible.
We can't
to-
use
no.
until.
Yeah, we
I
can't
can't
use
say
it.
I'll phone you until I arrive.
Yeah, no.
I say I'll
As.
phone you as soon as I arrive.
Yeah.
Means immediately
Immediately.
after I arrive, I'll phone you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So it means immediately after. Right? So as soon as, Ms. Nagam, means immediately after.
After.
Right. The second example.
Second example, I always brush my teeth before or as soon as I go to bed. So I can't brush my teeth.
When I go to
Or I go
bed.
to
As
bed.
soon as
I
means
have
after.
to soon.
Okay,
Yeah,
as soon
I
as
give out the
means
same meaning
after, so
as
you can't
after.
brush your teeth
Yes.
after you get
After
to bed.
I go
which
to
is
bed,
the-
so
So
after I
here,
sleep.
if we use here as soon as, it means that we brush our teeth in
in
bed.
bed.
Yeah.
While we are
No,
in
it
bed.
is not possible
Yeah,
here.
so-
Yes.
So we say before.
So in
I
order to
go-
choose, actually, as she said, they need to learn the meaning of these words and
Exactly.
what they refer to.
Exactly.
And it will be very easy, actually, to choose. We know
Yes.
that
Them.
this is very easy
Very
for
nice.
our students, so
Very
don't worry
nice.
about them.
Exactly. Very nice. Number 3.
Number 3, I hope I manage to see you until or before you go on your holiday. So I know you are going on a holiday, so I want to see you before you go.
Yes.
Here we have to say before. you go.
Before,
Yeah,
yes.
not until, before.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So here, I hope I manage to see you before you go.
Yeah.
Before you go. You are going on holiday. So I'll say before. Maybe I want something, to buy me something from London, from Paris, for example. And I need to see you before you go on holiday. Very
Actually,
nice.
until means that something will go on up to a certain other point
Yeah.
of time.
A continuous
yes,
action
exactly.
than
So
using-
here, until is not that
Yeah,
word for
yeah,
this
very
sentence.
Nice. Very nice. Yes.
Number 4, when or after a few hours, I got tired of playing video games. So we know that we have to use after.
Can we
because-
say when a few hours?
No. Actually, we
After
can't
when?
choose it.
After when?
Can't
We need a
you-
clause.
yes,
Yeah.
we
need a
always
clause.
need. We always
a
need a
clause means
clause.
a subject and
And
a
a
verb.
verb,
yes.
But we can't say when a few hours.
Yeah.
It's impossible. So we say here after a few hours, I got tired of playing video games.
Games. Yes. Yeah.
Very nice.
Number 5, as soon as or until you see him, tell her I said hello.
Yes.
So we have to use
Can we say
here.
until you
same.
see him?
Yeah. The same.
Until?
No.
No.
So as soon as means immediately.
Immediately, the
after.
moment you see her,
Once you see her,
Yes.
Tell
tell
her
her
I said.
hello. I say hello to her.
Yeah.
Okay? Very nice. Very nice. This is everything about linking words that are, available or, found in our book, right? In grade 9. Now, after that, we come to something very important indeed, which is about future tense. A future tense is one of the tenses in English. And as I said in the beginning of this seminar, that grammar is the backbone of the language. So future is a part of this backbone, right? Future can have many forms, indeed. 5 or maybe 6 forms to express future.
Of course, we can deal with all of them.
Yeah. But in our book, we have only 2 forms. We have will and we have be going to. Now, Ms. Nagam, you are going to tell us, please, in detail about simple future and how we make future, how we use future, and so on. Yes, please.
Okay, when we talk about future, actually, we need to talk about 2 things.
Yes.
We either talk about our expectations or predictions for the future, or about
Laptop,
our
please.
plans,
The laptop.
or we talk about our plans or somebody's plans or what he wants to do in the future, right? So either prediction or expectation for the future, or plans for the future,
Yes.
right? Now, actually,
Now, before we come to the use of future, we need to know the form, how we make a sentence in the future.
yes.
What are now the parts of
Maybe
a
another
future
time we'll
sentence?
talk about prediction.
Yes.
Yes, we have to start first with this subject,
Yes.
plus we have either will or going to.
Very nice.
And both of them are followed by verb in infinitive.
Yes, but you can't say I going to.
No,
You say
I
I am
going to.
So here we
we
need
have
now to use the auxiliary
auxiliary
verb,
verb,
which is or is
or
are,
Yes.
according
It
to the
depends
subject.
on,
To the
It depends on the
subject.
subject.
Yes.
Yes, please. So we have will and be
Going to.
going to. Yes.
So I will talk about will. How do we use will to
Yes.
predict the future? Actually, we are using will for things that we decide now at the moment of speaking.
Good.
So if I say I am thirsty, I will have a drink. So I
Yes.
will not think for a long time to go and bring a drink. So I will use it here. Also, we use it as for a personal opinion, as when I am watching, for example, a match between two teams. I say, I think, for example, Real Madrid will win the match.
Good.
So I think it will win the match. So something will happen.
Yes.
We also use it for a future fact. We use will. Also, like, for example, the sun will rise tomorrow. So we have example here as we use will when we have no plan. We are not planning to do something. We are just talking about things that
Predictions
will
or
happen now
expectations.
at the moment of speaking.
Yes, here we can say that we use it in two cases.
Yeah.
In sudden decisions
Yeah.
and in predictions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To predict the future.
Yeah.
To predict it. I think in 2050 everybody will have a plane, an airplane. I think
Yeah.
everybody will. This is what? This is called prediction.
Prediction,
Yeah.
right?
And
Prediction.
also it is used when we decide suddenly or suddenly decide something.
At the time of speaking. While
Yeah.
I'm speaking,
Exactly.
I decide to do something.
Exactly.
For example, tomorrow is Mom's birthday. I'll have
buy
her a
her a
present.
present.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
But maybe after 2 or 5 minutes, the position will change and we'll talk about that.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. Very nice.
Okay,
very
so
nice,
we have
yes.
an example. Hold on,
yes.
I'll get a pen.
But before now,
Yeah.
can we use future in negative?
Yeah.
Of course. How?
Will not.
Good. Will not. Because we have will,
Yeah.
then will is an auxiliary verb, a modal verb.
Followed
then
by a
just,
base form.
Just now, just add not to the
After
verb
it.
will
Yeah.
to become negative.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Because we do have auxiliary verbs. When we have auxiliary verbs, it is very simple to change into the negative.
Or into the
How?
question.
By using, or the question,
Yes.
by using not.
Not after
in that.
it.
Yes, exactly.
And in the
Yes,
question,
yes.
we
We
use
it.
we
We
just have
change
to
now.
invert the
the
situation.
positions of the
Yes.
Subject
sentence.
and the
Yeah,
auxiliary
the
verb.
positions of the subject and,
And the
the verb.
yeah.
Very nice.
Yes.
Let's now go on with you, Ms. Nagam.
Okay.
Okay.
Nada has just talked about prediction
Yes.
in the future using will. But as we said, the future is not only about predictions, it's also about plans and what I want to do in the future or someone wants to do in the future. Now, we talked about a sudden decision. I give an example that tomorrow is Mama's birthday. I'll get her a present. So this is my decision at the time of speaking. Now imagine that after half an hour, for example, my brother comes in and I say to him, tomorrow is Mama's birthday.
Yes.
I'm gonna buy her a present. So here I don't use will because now I have the plan, I have the intention.
So
Now
already,
this is
you
I have already decided.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do
This
it.
is not a
Yes.
sudden decision anymore. It's
Very
not at the time
nice.
of speaking. I have decided that
Yes,
before
yes,
now,
yes,
and this
yes,
is a
yes.
decision. So it changes into a plan for tomorrow or for the future. So I'm gonna buy her a present.
Yes.
Here I don't say I will. I
So
say I'm going
This
to
is,
buy
this
her
is
a present.
one way of using be going to.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is one way. Yes.
This is
we
if
have
you
another.
you have a plan, but sometimes
a plan.
yes. Sometimes it is a prediction. It is used for prediction, but actually it is used for a very sure prediction when we have evidence.
This prediction is based on
Yes,
something
it is based on
that
something that is very
precedes
clear.
another action,
Yes.
comes before. Now, as you mentioned
Yeah.
previously, imagine now that there is a football match between Syria and Brazil.
You are in the
Yeah.
last moments of the
Syria
match.
and Brazil. Now the score is Syria 6, Brazil
Two.
not,
Yeah.
means
Zero.
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 Right?
Yeah.
So we say Syria is going to win.
We have evidence.
Yeah, we have an evidence
Something,
here. We can't say Syria will win. No, we say Syria is going to win the match.
Okay, what do we mean by evidence? Maybe our students don't know the meaning of evidence.
Exactly.
Evidence means signs. We have now signs that are going on now. For example,
facts.
if you look at the sky and you see that there are a lot of black clouds in the sky.
Yes.
And of course, you are very sure that it is going to rain.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay, soon. It's going
Yes,
to rain
yes,
soon.
yes,
Here,
yes.
you can say it will, but
Yes.
because you are sure, because you have evidence around you, so you say it is going to rain.
When we see, or if we see a pregnant woman, you know,
Yes.
pregnant woman,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
do we say? Do we say she will have a baby,
No,
or she's going to have a baby?
She's going.
She is going to have a
have a
baby.
baby.
Why? Because we have something that introduces something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Right? So we have a state which is a pregnancy, right? That introduces to the action of having a baby, right?
Yes.
Very nice.
Okay, so we have
Good.
just mentioned some examples. Let's now, from the examples we just mentioned, let's talk about the form
Yes.
of future using going to. How do we use a future using going to? Of course, maybe the laptop
Yes.
is now useful. Okay,
It will rain, and this one,
this one.
yes.
Okay. As we have many times said, right, sentences need a subject and a verb. So the subject, for example, I, we need a be form, which is am
Good.
going to. Use infinitive after going to, because of course we have to.
To.
Use infinitive now, buy. Buy is an infinitive verb.
Yes.
A new car. So the sentence becomes, I'm going to buy a new car. But if you don't want to buy a new car, so what do you say? I am not going to
Yes.
buy a new car.
Very
So
nice.
as we have just said, we can also use it in the negative and just add not after
Okay, I'm not.
the verb,
Very
the auxiliary
nice.
verb, which is am here.
Very nice.
I'm not going to buy a car. Okay?
I'm not thinking of buying a new car.
yes.
There is no decision about.
So this is not my intention for the
My-
future. This is not my
exactly,
decision or
exactly.
my plan for the future.
Exactly,
So I'm not going to buy a car.
Yes.
But if it is my plan, I say I'm going to buy
Yes.
a new car.
If I ask you also, what are you going to do after this session? Say, I'm going to visit a friend of mine.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So here you have
already
already
have a plan.
planned.
Decided.
Yeah.
I have already
What you are
decided
going to
to
do.
go to visit my
Exactly.
friend.
Yes.
Okay. So when we use I, as usual, we use am as the be form. With I, it is am. With he, what do we use? Of course, we use a third person singular, which is
Is.
and also with she or it. Let's take the example. He's not going to take the exam, or he is going to take the exam if it is positive.
Yes.
All right?
Very
It
nice.
isn't going to rain.
Yes.
The sky is very clear.
Yeah.
We have
It
no
isn't
clouds in
going
the
to
sky.
clear, yes.
This is a prediction.
Yes.
But as we said, we have clear evidence
It is
that
based on something.
Something.
there are signs which show us that it's impossible to rain. Okay, so it
Very
isn't
nice. Very
going to
nice.
rain. This is a very sure prediction about the near future.
Yes.
We don't know about tomorrow, but we know that now there are no clouds in the sky.
So it's
it isn't
no
going
way,
to rain.
no way.
It's no way
Yeah,
to rain.
to rain.
Okay.
Yes.
For the question, what do we do? As usual, we have the be verb as an
the
auxiliary
beginning,
verb.
in the beginning
So what
of
do we
the-
do? We just change the position between the verb be and the subject. So instead of he is he? Instead of I am I?
Yes.
Or maybe it
Are
changes
you,
to are you?
etc. Yes.
Okay.
Very
So
nice.
are you going to paint the house? What do you answer? Yes. I'm
Yes.
going to buy the house.
Yes,
or
I am. Just yes,
or no.
I am. Or no,
I'm not going
no, I'm
to
not.
paint the
Very
house.
nice, very
right?
nice.
So, to talk in brief, use going to for intention.
Yes.
What you want to do in the future, not what you think will happen.
Yes.
What you think will happen, use will. But for what you want to do,
This is
use it
intention.
for intention. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
example, we're not going to paint our bedroom tomorrow.
Yes.
We're going to have a picnic tomorrow.
Very
Okay?
nice. Yes.
We're not going to
Very
paint
nice.
our bedroom.
This is number one.
Okay.
What
this
is
is
number
intention,
two?
and you can use also, as we said, going to for prediction. Like, for example, the sky is very black. It's full of black clouds.
Yes.
So this is a very strong sign that
Yeah.
it's going to snow
Very
or
nice.
to rain.
Very
It's going to
nice.
snow or to
Very
rain.
nice. Very nice. Dear students, dear colleagues, we come to the end of the grammar section in this seminar. I hope that we could explain everything clearly and in detail. I think what we talked about was very simple, Ms. Nagam and Ms. Nada.
Yes.
Okay, very simple, and the ideas are, very easy to understand.
We were just trying to put light on
Yes,
certain
yeah,
points
to
which
shed
most of
light,
our
to shed light on,
most of our students
very,
already
very
know them,
nice.
but we just
Very
try
nice,
to remind
very
them
nice,
of these
very
points.
nice. Thank you very much indeed. After having finished the this section,
skill.
which is the grammar, it is important to come now to the second part of our seminar for today, which is about the reading skill. Reading skill is not just to read words, but to read
Understand.
and to understand
What
you are reading.
Yes.
Or here we say to understand what is written between the lines. Not the lines themselves, but between the lines.
Yes.
So it is very important
To read and think,
to
to
read
understand.
and think, to analyze what
you
we
are.
are. And this is called the analytical reading or the critical reading. We need this type of reading, actually. And I hope that our teachers, our colleagues in schools teach their students this type of reading, this kind of reading, because really it is very important, because it teaches them how to be critical thinkers.
Yes. How to analyze what
How
they
to analyze, a passage or a text or an essay or an article or whatever. So we need to be critical in our reading, analytical in our reading, to analyze. As you know, dear students, we have in the student's book on page 56, we have an article. This article is very important, and we are going to analyze it, to study it well, to analyze it, and to have a lot of questions about it.
Yes.
How to analyze it? By raising a lot of questions about something. So here now, if we look at the photos on this page, we have 3 photos. Ms. Nagam, what can you see here in the photo or in the photos?
In the first photo,
Yeah.
you can see 2 young men playing video games.
Yes,
And you can see how happy they are.
yes.
They are playing together the same game. And they are having fun.
Yeah, they are having
They
fun.
are having
Good,
fun, actually.
Good.
They are happy and they are having
Very
fun
nice,
playing
very
these
nice.
video games.
Yes.
In the second one, I see 2 young men
Yes.
also playing video games.
Yes.
But
So here we are talking now
Maybe
about
there is a
teenagers
problem.
here.
Of
Teenagers.
course, teenagers,
Okay,
yes.
yes. What are they doing? Of
I
course,
think
they are playing video games.
Yes.
Yes. What about picture 3 or photo number 3, the last one?
it is 2 children
Yes.
and they are also playing
Yes.
video games.
Video games.
And they are also enjoying their time.
Yeah. So here now we can see that 3 photos or the three photos are about playing video games.
Yes.
Playing video games is really enjoying and enjoyable. How can we say that it is always enjoyable? That it is always positive?
No.
When I say that these people are enjoying playing
time. Yes.
their time, enjoying their time, this is something positive.
Yeah.
But is it always positive?
No.
Okay.
No. So here, when we say no, then here we have something negative. So when we have positive and negative, it means that we have advantages and disadvantages of something.
Yeah.
So can you please now tell us about the advantages and disadvantages of playing computer games or video games?
You have
Yes,
just mentioned something very important, that when you read, you need to analyze what you have read.
We can have a break.
Okay, the first.
فينا ناخد فاصل. Okay. Yes.
Maybe I'm moving.
Dear students, we will be back after a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back, dear students. We were talking about the beginning of an article which is playing video games or computer games. Ms. Nagam, you were talking about, you have just started talking about the advantages and disadvantages of playing video games.
Yes.
Let's now please explain in detail and explain clearly to our students about these 2 points, advantages and disadvantages. When we say advantage or advantages, it means good things.
Good things, benefits, the benefits.
The benefits. Disadvantages are the opposite, which is
the bad
things.
things.
Yes, please.
Okay. As I have just said, you've just mentioned something that when you read a paragraph, you need to analyze it. So analyzing the first paragraph, let's say, of this text on page 56, which is video games addiction, what's the main idea in this?
The laptop, please. Yes.
The main idea in this paragraph is, as you said, the advantages and disadvantages of video games.
Yes.
Okay, we all know that most children and teenagers and even adults actually like playing video games. Why do they like playing video games? Actually, video games are entertaining.
Yes.
We enjoy our time when we are playing them. Okay, we have fun. We have a lot of fun when we play them.
Very nice.
And they are very good, actually, in many ways. First, for example, it is very good to have my friends around me and playing something together to enjoy our time together.
And this is
they become
a form of social life.
Yes, they become sociable together.
Yes.
Okay, this is a social activity to be played with or to be done with your colleagues or with your friends.
Very nice.
All right, so it helps them to be together. Okay, it is sociable first.
Yeah.
Although it could be the opposite. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Also, you need to think while you are playing. You need to think. You need to decide what to do for the next step.
Yes.
So these games actually improve one's skills.
Very nice.
The person's skills in thinking and in taking decisions.
Very good.
For what to do. What's the next step now? Okay, I'm winning. Okay, I need to go on winning. I need another step.
Yes.
So here you need to think.
So it moves
improves
your
mental
intellect.
Yes.
Yeah, it
your
moves
mental
it.
abilities
Yeah.
are improved while using these games actually.
Very nice.
All right?
Very nice.
But how can
yes.
these games themselves, which are very good in some ways, be bad?
Very nice.
Okay?
Good.
It is very good actually, not only playing video games, it's very good and very healthy actually to have a break in your day. You are studying a lot, okay? It's very good and healthy to have a break, playing something or going
To
out.
enjoy, you know,
to enjoy yourself.
sometimes,
okay.
sometimes.
Yes.
For some time.
Yes.
But is it okay to do that most of the time? Now, if these video games are played for a long time, they change to be bad for you. First, for your health, and we'll talk about that. And second, socially, it will be also bad. So how do they affect us socially? Actually, when you go on playing computer games, you like to be alone. You don't like to talk with other people around you. You play most of the
Yes,
time.
we are going now to talk about this in the second
This is in
paragraph.
the first
Yes.
paragraph.
But here now,
actually.
yes, we come to
They
this
separate.
kind of
They separate from
yes,
reality.
Very nice.
Okay, they separate
are
from
separate
reality.
From reality,
Yes.
and also they become addicted.
That's
games.
the point. So when they
Right?
play a lot,
Yes,
okay,
very
I will
nice.
play once more and once more and once more.
Until
so
They
you
can't get enough
until
of
you
playing.
Yes.
with
okay, you
Yes,
become
yes.
addict.
So here, very nice. Here we can say
And
that
this is very
we
dangerous,
have
of course.
advantages and disadvantages. For the advantages, we can say that it makes you, socialize with other
With other
people around
friends,
you who are
yes.
playing with you. Also, it makes you use your thinking,
You're
and
right.
therefore it helps you or it enhances you, it promotes you to use your intellect, your mind, and therefore to make you, a good decision maker, to
Yes.
make decisions by yourself.
To improve your skill in taking
Very
decisions.
nice. Also, but on the other hand, it is,
Addictive. It causes addiction.
yes, it goes.
So
it causes
they should be very careful
and
about
this is,
them.
we have addiction of many kinds of addiction. We have a smoking addiction, we have a drug addiction,
Yes.
and we have video games
We
addiction.
have also social
And all of
media
them are
addiction.
dangerous.
Yeah, social media.
like
exactly,
Facebook,
exactly,
Instagram.
exactly,
Also, we have
exactly.
this kind of addiction.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
here we have advantages and,
And
disadvantages.
disadvantages.
Now,
Okay, may I
Yes,
here
of
say
course,
something?
yes.
What's the meaning of addiction? Actually, addiction means to get used physically or mentally to something.
yes.
Okay, to be very much used to it, and you can't live without it.
Yes.
Right.
Can't
So this
get
is what you
enough
mean here
of
by
what you are
addiction.
doing.
Addiction is the
You
noun, and
can't
addict.
give up it. You
Yes.
can't
Okay,
give
and
up it.
addict is the person who has this addiction is called addict, right? So addiction means when your body, mentally or physically, get used to something.
Yes.
Okay.
When I say that if I smoke, for example,
Yeah.
I say I'm an addict. Smoking means I can't give
You can't
up
live with it.
smoking
Yes, you can't
or
give it up.
leave it. This is called addiction.
Yeah.
Very nice. Now, Ms. Nada, we come to you now to tell us about how can you or how you know that this teenager, whether a boy or a girl, is a gamer addict.
Of course, we have many signs
Yes.
or in order to know if this person is addicted to do something or is addicted to play video games. First, we can see him lacking a lot of, he doesn't sleep a lot.
Yes.
So he is wasting his time, his school time. He doesn't study. He wants only to play video games. He study for a short period, and now he just wants to go and play a video game. He doesn't sleep well. He is separated
What
from
about
others.
family and friends?
Yeah, he doesn't
He
want to
separates
go
from
and
them,
see
yeah.
his friends. He
Isolates
doesn't.
himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he just want to stay in his room and just to play video games. He just want he lose his interest in
Yes.
doing something else,
Uh-huh.
like for example reading, watching TV, go for do something with his friends, go for parties like this. So he just want to stay in his room and playing this video
Very
game.
nice. So here we have some signs
Yeah.
which show that this teenager or this
Is
person
addicted to play video
is addicted. Now, this is on the behavior side or behavioral side of the matter. What about the physical side now?
Also, we have many signs for physical things. We find him. He has numbness. In
Numbness,
His,
good.
in his hands.
Numbness. What do you mean by numbness?
He
Loss
can't
of sensation.
use. Yeah, he
you
can't
know,
use his
loss
fingers.
of sensation. You can't sense or you can't
You can't feel
feel
your
what
fingers
you are.
well. You
Yeah,
can't
very
have that
nice.
feeling with them.
Oh, hands and wrists
Wrists
also. Yes.
and we have also he may have headaches.
Headaches also. Very
Yeah,
nice.
and he may have dryness in his
Dryness
eyes.
in his eyes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So actually, this is very dangerous. Okay,
To play video games for a lot of
yes,
time.
a lot of time.
Yeah.
We can play video games in
Specific time.
specific times.
Yeah.
Very nice. Good. So these are, Ms. Nagam, the signs of addiction. So we
Yes.
said that we have, behavioral signs
Yeah.
and we have what we call
Physical.
physical signs. Behavioral are related or connected
To his
with
actions, what
with
he does.
actions, behavior.
What he does.
What he does,
Yeah.
right? How he behaves.
Yeah.
While
You may find him violent sometimes.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
may
violence.
say
Very
words
nice.
to people. He may be rude to
Yes,
people
yes.
who is talking to. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Now, Ms. Nagam, after we identify the problem,
After we know that this person has that problem,
yes, after identifying the problem, how or what should we do to help this teenager, okay, to be healthy,
okay.
to stop this addiction, right?
Actually, this is not an easy problem to deal with.
Yes.
Right? So if he is my brother, my friend, my sister, my neighbor, I think it's much better here to. There are things that I may do, but it's not enough.
Yes.
Actually, this person needs a treatment, and this treatment should be by professional people.
Yes.
So it is very important here to tell a professional to help this person, and the professional person can identify the problem with this boy or girl. Okay, they can know why he is an addict. There are many reasons for addiction, and he can specify the problem and work on that problem with the addict, and tells him about the disadvantages or how bad it is to be addict.
Yes.
And he tries to take him out of this problem.
Good.
Right?
Yes.
Of course, if this
Now,
person...
now imagine now you are an expert, right?
Yes.
And someone, or you know something about someone who is an addict, a gamer, you know. So what do you do in order to, or how can you help him, right? To take him out of this problem. Yes.
He should help him to take again his self-control.
Ah, very nice. To self-control.
Yes.
How?
He can't control himself. He wants to play all the time. Now he needs to teach him how to control himself.
Very nice.
And this is, of course, not easy. Always addiction is not something easy to deal with.
Yes.
So it needs a lot of patience.
Yes.
And it needs a lot of care.
Yeah.
Both from professional people and the people around
Very
this
nice.
person. So it is not enough for the professional to work alone. He needs to take help
Family
from
and
the family,
friends.
from the
Family,
friends
yeah,
around this
very
person.
nice.
And they all should work together, actually, to help this person
Yes.
take control again of himself. How do they do that? By trying to take him out
Yes.
of playing games, making him do other things together, and
Yes.
with a lot of patience,
Here,
and
what about,
care.
for example, you know, putting or stating schedule
Yes,
for playing
that's
video games.
The second step is what? Is to
Yes.
try to make a schedule with this person,
Yes.
trying to put a plan,
A plan.
schedule, we mean a plan, a timetable.
Yes.
Now you need to play a little. Okay, don't stop playing. We don't want you to
course
stop
not,
playing.
of course
We need you
not.
just to play a little.
Yeah.
It's healthy to play, but a
Yes,
little.
yes, yes.
There
And
is
in
time for
specific
studying.
times, in
Yes,
specific
yeah.
time,
Specific
to
periods.
manage the time
Yes.
or to organize his time, right?
Yes.
So,
So this is
time
what we mean by
management,
schedule.
time management is something very important.
Very important.
Not only in video games, but in everything in our
Yeah.
life. We need to have time
control
management.
our
To
life, we
control
need
our
to
life.
organize
So we
it.
need, yes, time
Yes.
management.
Yes.
Very
So
nice.
he needs this schedule. First, you can play. There is time for studying. There is time for family.
Yes.
To be healthy, you need to be in good relationship with your family. You need to be in a good relationship with your friends.
Very nice.
Okay, and they need to work on his behavior together.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. So we need a lot of patience, a lot
And
of
care.
care.
Attention.
We need, attention, to pay attention to this boy or to this girl,
And
to this
sympathy.
teen.
We need
And
sympathy. We need to be very
To
kind, very
sympathize
gentle.
with him, to be very, very, good,
gentle
very
with this
gentle,
person.
to be gentle with him or her.
Use
Okay?
nice words to him.
Yes.
Like you can do
Encourage him to do things.
Encourage, by
you have
encouraging
to
him,
encourage him to
good
do.
words,
Yeah.
that to give
To
him
motivate
something,
him.
psychological power,
Yes.
right? So that he can get out of this problem, which is addiction. Very nice indeed. I think now the idea of playing games, or video games addiction has become, dear students, very, very clear. And you can read the article on page 56 and get more and more understanding of the idea. Thank you indeed, Ms. Nagam,
Thank you.
Ms.
Thank you.
Nada.
It's my
Thank you.
pleasure.
We come to another reading text, but this time in the activity book,
Yeah.
right? So in the activity book, we have, a passage that,
On page 42.
yes, on page 42, right? 42, please the laptop. Page 42, we have here this reading, text. This reading text is or consists of 3 paragraphs. Each paragraph is different from the other.
Different ideas.
Yeah, we have 3 different ideas.
Themes or
We are going now to talk about these different ideas. The first one, we have a question. Can water be or go bad?
Yeah.
Can water go bad? We know water,
Yeah. It's very
Somet-
important life.
Yeah, of course. And we know that food, if you put food outside the fridge, it gets bad.
Yeah.
So can water also go bad like food or not?
Yeah.
What do you say, Ms. Nada, about that?
Yeah, I think that water can go bad if we put it in an open container.
Yeah.
Because we have many insects that may come to this water.
Bacteria, we
Yeah.
have insects,
Organisms,
Yeah.
different organisms.
Yeah.
Very nice. So it can
can
go
go
bad.
bad,
Oh,
yeah.
very nice. So what should we do in order to prevent it from going bad?
We can put in it, like for example, we have here, we can put it a chlorine or iodine that will prevent
Some
the
chemicals.
insects.
Some
Yeah,
chemicals. We can use some
put it.
chemicals,
Yeah.
to prevent germs, bacteria,
forming.
From
very nice, very nice. So this is about, can water go bad? We say yes, it can go
Yes, of
bad.
course.
How
Since
can
it's
we?
essential.
Yeah,
The
of
container
course.
is open.
Yes,
It takes
yes.
everything around it, so germs and organisms can get into it.
Now, we have another idea, which is about lightning storms.
Yes.
You know lightning.
Lightning storms,
And this is a winter phenomena.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen in summer when it is, the sky is clear, or it is, in summer. So, can lightning strike you when you are indoors?
Yeah.
Indoors means inside.
Inside your
the
house.
Your house.
Inside your
Yes.
house.
So what do you say, Ms. Nagam? What do you think about that?
Of course, first we need to know what is lightning. What lightning
Yes.
is.
What lightning is.
Yes,
Good.
we need to know what lightning is.
Yes.
Of course, lightning means that light which comes out when two clouds strike each other and then it is followed with rain.
Yes.
All right? So what is lightning? Lightning actually is a charge, an electrical charge.
Charge.
That moves in
Yes.
certain objects.
Good.
So we all know that this electrical charge moves in metals, right?
Yes.
And it also moves in wires, in electrical wires.
Yes.
So can you be struck with this lightning while you are inside your house? Of course, the answer is yes, you may.
Yes.
Yes, you may.
Yes.
How
exactly.
may you get stricken by this lightning?
Yes.
First, for example, if you are using the phone has wire.
Yes.
This electrical charge moves,
Might move or
might
travel.
move or travel
travels.
inside the phone and it strikes you.
Yes.
Another situation, maybe you are having a bath, and we all know that bath pipes are made of metal, and they are also related to a container. Maybe it is outside.
Yes.
This container is outside. So this container itself is made of metal, and we all know that also water takes
Yeah, of
electrical
course.
charges.
Yes.
So when this lightning or this electrical charge from lightning moves into water, into, of course, first the container, the metal container, then into water, it moves inside also the metal pipes. And
Yes.
while you are having a bath,
It can hit you
can
while
hit
you are
you.
having a bath
Okay,
or
so it
something.
can hit you.
Very
So
nice.
what's the solution?
Very nice. Now, what should we do in this case? Now, this is a problem.
This
And
is
a
the problem.
dangerous problem.
So stay away from the problem.
How?
So
By not
how?
having a bath during the
don't,
lightning
don't
storm.
have a bath
Yeah.
while there is
holding
lightning
up the
Yeah,
storm.
very nice.
Don't talk on the phone.
Yeah.
Not only, by the way, not only the landline phone,
Yeah.
even mobile
Even the
phones
mobile phone.
or even
Okay.
computers.
Yes,
they
very
are
nice.
all objects that can receive
Yes.
this electrical charge and can move it
Yes.
into you, and you may be hit by this lightning
Very nice.
strike.
Very nice. Thank you, Ms. Luman. Thank you.
This is from everyday life, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Very nice indeed.
This is something scientific.
Yeah, yeah. Now, the last question in this, Ms. Nada,
Yes.
is, about also what we call prediction in the future, which is icebergs. What will happen if icebergs melt and turn into water?
Then
This is a real problem
Yeah.
that faces the world nowadays.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
We all know that the earth is getting hotter, or we have it here as it is getting hotter. So we know that the level of the sea will raise.
Yes.
So if the icebergs melt, it will cracks, and it will cause the level of the sea to be raised.
Yes.
So it will affect the cities and the villages which are near the coast. So we have a big problem. We have to work on not make the earth or the temperature of the sea will get hotter, so it will cause the icebergs to be melt, and it will affect the level of the sea.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here it depends on the level
Of
the
the
sea level.
No.
The sea level will rise
Yeah.
because these big
Icebergs.
icebergs
Yeah.
are melting.
Yeah.
Then here we will have, of course, why are they melting? Because
The
the
earth is
heat
getting-
Yeah.
of the earth
Of the
is increasing.
raising.
Yeah, it's raising, or right. So here we. Do you think that we have solutions to this problem?
Yeah.
Here we said when we talked
Sure.
about lightning, okay,
By staying
we said
away.
that don't talk on the phone while it
this
is
is an easy
lightning.
solution to do.
It's an easy solution to do. What about
It's
this
an
now?
individual solution.
We can do
But
it.
here,
What about this now? Can we avoid this?
No, actually,
Individually- individually no.
no. But when we have a group of people, all of us work
countries
to
together, it
Countries,
means
Yeah.
countries of the world.
governments,
Yeah.
countries, when they decide to stop this problem,
Then we have
can,
a solution for this
very
problem.
nice, very
Yeah.
nice indeed, very nice.
It's a global,
it's
problem.
a global problem.
So we
Very
need the
good.
whole earth to get together in order to find solutions.
All the countries, the UN should work, I mean the United Nations should work on this problem.
Yes.
Very nice. Now, here we have this, this activity below, which is number 1.
True
Just
or
here
false.
to write true or false, just to remind our students of the facts that we have just mentioned in this passage. Right. Now, please, let's start with Miss Nagam. Nagam, number 1. Would you please read sentence number 1 here?
Okay. If you store water in a closed container, it will not go bad.
Okay. Okay.
The text says that if you store water in an open container,
Yeah.
it will go bad.
Yes.
Okay, and the solution is what? To close it.
So it is
this is a true.
True. Thank you.
This is a true.
Number 2, Ms. Nada.
Chemicals can be added to water to stop bacteria from forming. Also, it's a true.
Also, it's a true. Because we use chemicals to stop
the bacteria
Very
from
nice.
coming
Number
to
3.
water. Yeah.
Okay, it isn't dangerous to use the phone during a lightning storm.
Yes.
Of course, false.
It
isn't
isn't
dangerous.
No, it is dangerous.
It is dangerous.
Very
So this
nice.
is false.
This is false. Number 4.
If you want to have a bath, it's better to wait until the storm is over. For sure, it's true.
It's true.
Be-
If you want to have a bath, it's better to wait until the storm is over. Very nice. Number 5.
Any electrical object can increase the danger of injuries by lightning. Of course, this is correct.
Yes. This
Electrical object like computers, they mean, of
Very
course, and
nice.
like
telephones,
telephones,
yeah. Oh,
etc.
very
Yes.
nice. Thank you.
If we don't try to stop the earth from getting warmer, the sea level will rise in the future, for sure.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It is true.
It's
Very
true.
good.
Yeah.
Number 7.
Rising sea levels won't be a problem. Of course, false. The text says that it will be a big problem
of
because
course.
cities
Yes,
and
rising
villages.
sea levels won't be. No, it will
It will be a big
Very
problem
nice.
because
Yeah.
it will
Very nice.
flood
Very nice.
the other cities,
Yes,
the cities
yes.
around.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Actually, dear students, dear colleagues, it was supposed to talk a little bit about writing, but the time is over now. So in
soon.
the end, I'd like to thank you, Ms. Nagam,
Thank you.
very much
It's
for your
my pleasure to be
participation.
always with you.
Yeah.
Okay, and Ms. Nada, thank you very,
you so
very
much.
much for coming to Damascus and participating us in this seminar.
Thank you very much.
Dear students, this is Karim Assab greeting you from the Syrian Educational Channel in Damascus. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.